Hello and welcome once again to Ignite Your Impact. My name is Jen Rhodes. I am seated, ready to go next to Mr. Matt Rhodes. Say hello.
Hello.
You're like, woo! Matt is amped and ready. It is a gorgeous day in Kansas, although he has complained it's a little hot, which I disagree respectfully.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to start today with an activity. Are you ready? Do you think we can do this?
I am ready.
Okay, so I want to do a word play, and Matt doesn't know the words I'm about to ask him. And then I'm going to share. I've been working on this for a hot minute.
I'm a little nervous. I mean, I have all the notes, for our podcast, and I've went through those. And
I've done research.
I know what we're going to do. I just don't know what this portion of it is, so we'll see how it plays out.
This was a case study I did.
You're getting ready to do?
Purely out of my own curiosity. I'm taking your answers and adding them to said case study.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
And what are we doing?
Wordplay.
I'm not good with one word, so it'll be a couple words, probably, depending on what you ask me. Maybe I can do it with one. We'll go. Let's
remedy that.
Again, let's go.
No. Okay, first word. Lesson.
Opportunity. See, I did it in one word.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Opportunity, first thing.
Hell yes. Freedom.
Flag.
Money.
Freedom. Leverage. Leverage freedom. Time.
Leveraging freedom. Country.
4th of July.
Barbie.
Blonde.
Oh, okay. Fair.
I don't have anything else to say about that.
There's no judgment behind. Okay,
I know,
so
but I didn't grow up with Barbie. I grew up with He-Man and WWF.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You had Junkyard Dog. I had Barbie.
Yeah. Those are my answers. Were they right or wrong?
There's no right or wrong. And here is why we're going to talk about that, because I want to share here in a second what my case study. I did this with one of my clients.
This fits perfect now. Now I know why you did this.
Now you understand why.
See, I have the notes. I didn't have those words, and this is great.
So I did this with one of my clients that we're working through some self-sabotage, some obstacles, and also just some resolution. You know, she's in a space where she's like, I'm checking all the boxes and I'm stuck. I said, okay. And as I listened to her language, I'm hearing certain words, but I hear them one way. We're going to get to that in a second. I think she's meaning another. So I do this exact wordplay with her. Do you want to go through the words? No, I'll just say. So when I say lesson, she said punishment.
Or I said opportunity, yeah.
When I said freedom, she said struggle. Interesting. When I said money, she said hustle. Remind you of anybody we know?
Yeah.
When I said country, she said patriot. Think about this language, right? And then when I said Barbie, she said boobs.
I should have said that.
You should have said boobs.
I thought blonde.
That's okay.
All right.
These are all descriptors. But isn't it so funny? Those same words had a completely different interpretation. Two different paralleled, same word. And today we're going to do a little social commentary, which we normally don't do. But I want to go subconscious with it.
Yeah, because the lens, and I'm probably going to use the word lens a lot and repeat that. The lens, what you see through 100% dictates your life.
Yes.
Based on how you, as Jen did the wordplay, that is what dictates your life. And when I say life, I'm talking important stuff. Not that Barbie's not important, but
so
important stuff like your health, your relationships, your finances. I mean, everything. That's why this lesson, because my interpretation of a lesson is opportunity. That's why this lesson / opportunity is so important that we talk about today. And that's what we're going to dive into. We want to bring awareness to it. We want to bring awareness to what you're seeing through your lens. And before jumping in, because we've got some personal experiences, some client experiences that people can relate to, I think it's important that you got your icebreaker, I have my icebreaker. So I want to throw out one of the social ones.
Yeah.
This song came out not too long ago, a little while back. Tell me if I pronounce his name right. Jason Aldean?
Yes. Jason
Aldean's song comes out. And there's a ton of chaos over it. Some people with one lens see it as this is patriotic. This needed to be said. Others in a different lens saw it as promoting gun violence. Others in a different lens saw it as a racist type of song.
Other people saw it as just trash country music.
Point is, depending on your history and what you've been taught and what you've experienced, that's how you see it. I'm not saying one's right, wrong, or indifferent. The way you have experienced life, that's how you saw that song. That's how you heard that song. For me personally, I just thought it was another way for the news to keep us all fighting. We all view it through different lenses, but those lenses create a reaction. If you got heated one way or another, I can promise you, you took that into the rest of your day, into conversations with other people. And hey, I'm not immune. I'm just like everyone else. My lens was the news is bad for you. The news is stirring this up. It's getting people riled up. So that's how I saw that song. It reiterated my thoughts and my feelings about the news, and it probably created a reaction for me. Now mine only lasted seconds, and then I was over it. It didn't consume me. The consuming part is what we want to talk about with the lens discussion we have today. If you can't move beyond something because the way you see something, we want to try and break that today to help break some of those habits that maybe are holding you back in those really important areas that I talked about earlier.
I love that. Yeah. Let's do this. I want you to think about this. At the base level, language is a representation of the subconscious mind. And think about where language came from. Like, we didn't just come out of the caves talking in our different languages. Those sounds, those symbols were a representation of a picture, right? We went from cave drawings to hieroglyphics to letters to words. Letters and words kind of happened at the same time, but you understand what I'm trying to say. We didn't just come out saying freedom. Like, no, there's interpretations. My God, how many times has the Bible been interpreted? Language is an interpretation. Language in and of itself is an interpretation of an idea. And it's through the interpretation of that language that we infuse our own distinctive experiences, our beliefs, even our fears into that language, that art, that literature, that expression of communication. Those experiences, beliefs, fears breathe life into that interpretation, right?
Yep.
These meanings, these interpretations, these representations shaped by our values, our beliefs, our experiences, our identity become deeply personal for us because it helps forge our understanding of the world.
And our identity.
Yes. Yep. This becomes the lens that we see the world. So I want to tie this into something else that's current, which I don't typically do, but this is important to me. This is very important to me. I am 100% obsessed with Barbara Millicent Roberts. I always have been. Do you not know who that is? Matt had to ask me, and I damn near slapped him. Barbara Millicent Roberts is the full name of Barbie.
I know Junkyard Dog, but I don't know
you
Barbara,
do.
Whatever her
you
name.
You know JYD. I know JYD, which makes me even cooler. I have always been obsessed with Barbie. When I got sick in grade school, Grammy Joyce was going to bring her Barbies over and we were going to play Barbies all day on the couch. Like, I love Barbie. What she means to me, how I've always viewed her, what her image represents. Top down, left, right, love. Love her. Here is why this is important. Your interpretation right now is forming a judgment of me. It's okay. I just want you to recognize it. Whatever interpretation you have of Barbie is forming your interpretation of me. Here's why this is important. From 1984 to 1987, I looked this up. Barbie's slogan by Mattel was, "We girls can do anything." How did that lens just change? From the 80s to the 90s, be who you want to be. Into today, you can be anything. No mention of blonde, no mention of boobs. Your interpretation purely curated that judgment. And so I want to explain why I love Barbie. I always have. Because those slogans are how I see the world. See, I grew up in a home where my mom taught my brothers how to skateboard. I grew up in a home where my dad had me under the hood of a car. Oh, Dad, I can't do that. I'm a girl. Why the hell can't you? There was no gender bias. There was no gender expectation. You can do whatever you want, girl and boy. We're not making this a girl-boy thing. You're a human. You can do what you want. You can be anything. And so think about that lens growing up and add this person that edifies that belief. She can be anything. Because I believe in Barbie, I can be a veterinarian. I can be an astronaut. I can be a mommy. I can be a CEO. I can be a kick-ass realtor by day and turn into an evening gown at night. You can be anything. But knowing that now about me, I'm sure a lot of my behaviors make sense now, right? Like, oh, that's why she's so fucking fearless. There's no need to be afraid. I can be anything. I can do anything except pee standing up. But I want to share with you. Did you just catch that?
I caught it. I thought you maybe need to take a pause when you said that.
No, I'm just slide it in. I had a girlfriend a few years back, and I was talking something, and I've always joked, like, what would Malibu Barbie do? Like, not what would Jesus do? What would Malibu Barbie do? And she's like, I hate Barbie. I'm like, whoa, those are fighting words. Why do you hate Barbie? Oh, she's a bitch. None of my Barbies were bitches. I don't know who you were playing with as a kid. I don't know what language you had around you as a child. But everything that this doll represented to me was like a big spoonful of fuck yeah, let's go. You can be anything you want, and you can be kind, and you can be generous, and you can be grateful. And the minute I explained it, she's like, oh. I said, so is Barbie the bitch, or was someone else playing with Barbie a bitch? She's like, I get it. Right?
It changed her lens on Barbie. You know,
and me.
Yeah, you may have just changed mine as well.
I know.
You know, and for me personally, I won't, you know, you narrowed down on a very specific topic, and I love that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I think a lot of people who, you know, not everyone came from a great home, but I think anyone who came from a decent home can feel what how I was as a child. I saw through a lens that everything was great, very similar to you, but just life was exciting. You know, there was never a problem growing up. I'm sure there were problems my parents just handled. That's just my lens of being a young child. And then I got into high school and I got into college, and of course, problems presented themselves at that time, like they would for anyone, but they were super easy to resolve. And I remember that time back in high school and college. I felt like I had life by the tail. Things were easy. I saw endless opportunities and a lot of years to live. Like I got so much time left and there's just endless opportunities. And then as I joined the workforce, that lens started to change a little bit for me. Some for the good, some for the not so good. Some of the not good things is I started seeing rules and I started seeing policies and even some politics. And then we started our own business and we've been super fortunate. We really have. We've been very fortunate.
Hashtag blessed.
Yes. But we did have a few customers burn us over the years. And we've had a couple team members, employees that burned us as well. And through all those things, my lens of the world had started to change. It went from having the world by the tail to maybe it's not as boundless as I thought. Maybe there are some limitations. And that led to my decisions. And those decisions affected my health, affected my romantic relationships, romantic relationship, my finances, everything that I said before. The way you see the world, that lens you see it in, it affects all that. And I had a great life. But those lenses changes. You, the person listening right now, may have experienced the exact same thing I did. Life has been pretty damn good, but your lens has changed over the years. And let me dig in a little bit more on that. As I began to see life the way I thought, as my lens changed, I started to lose a little bit of drive, meaning I started to coast a little bit in all areas. Those areas I talked about, those super important areas. And what happened was I started to get behind in those areas. The relationships, the health was a big one for me. You start to get older and you start believing the lens that you see through. Well, my metabolism has slowed down, which is why I can't drop weight. I don't need to have a six-pack. I'm married with kids and happy and 40-some years old. I don't need that. All those things. You just view life as the way it is. Too many people don't realize this has consumed them just like that country song did. The problem is this lens isn't screaming at you on social media. It's not screaming at you through the news. It's not loud. It's not aggressive. It's not in your face. It's right in front of you. But you don't see it because you're looking through a different lens that has slowly, over time, been burned into you.
I love that explanation. You said the word bias.
I did?
You did. I think. It came in my head. I'm pretty sure you did.
You interpreted me saying it.
I did interpret. See, language. Language matters. Yes. It matters so much. Even think about... And we went through this past week in some of our language, just having to reinterpret conversations. Like you said something, it triggered me, it triggered you back. And I was like, hold on. What do you mean by this specific word? I have zero emotion. Tell me what you mean by this specific word. And it took us both back like, oh, wow, yeah, language matters. I don't even remember what it was about. It was about stupid, like, a plate of spaghetti or something dumb. But it was just enough to where it was like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Whoa, language matters. So I want to give our listeners and our viewers some tactics because obviously we've got some experience in this. We've had years of training in this. And frankly, we still have a mentor that helps us untarnish our lens.
Yes. It's a constant working process.
Of course.
But once you know the steps,
just like your glasses. They're going to get dirty if you wear them every single day. Yep. You got to wipe them off. Jen, go wipe off your glasses. Sorry.
Your glasses don't get as dirty if you just don't watch the fucking news. Sorry.
Oh, well.
Again, that's my lens.
We're back to the metaphors. I was being literal because I need to go wipe off my glasses. I want to give people tactics on how to acknowledge, resolve, and reshape our interpretations. I'm not telling you to change your mind on anything. I don't give a shit. There's my interpretation. Your interpretation is your responsibility. So number one, recognize the influence of experiences and beliefs. You have to understand that someone else may have a different journey than you. You have to understand and respect your own journey. This forged your beliefs, your behaviors, your interpretations. It has a profound impact on how we process information and give it meaning. It's how we take those pictures and we assign something to it so that we can understand it.
How we filter.
Yeah. If I had a thing in front of me and I was just sitting here just like bouncing it up and down, it's a thing. What is that? I don't know. What do you think it is? Well, based on what I'm doing with it, maybe what it looks like, what you've seen before, maybe it's a ball. But what if it's gel? Was it slime? These are all interpretations. I love metaphors. Number two, you need to confront your fears and your biases. I'm not saying we need to spend 30 years in therapy, but you need to understand that being deathly afraid of clowns, you may have assigned an experience to it that caused you fear. It may not be a clown. It may not be a bird. Confront your fears and biases. It leads to these pre-existing notions that may pre-influence and shape your interpretation. Take responsibility for your interpretation. I love how you said that I've changed your view on Barbie because I gave you my lens of it. Like, most people just keep it face value. No, it's so much more than that. But you have to take responsibility for your previous interpretation and or assumption. It's okay. We're going to do it. We are human. We do not have all the knowledge. We don't. We can tap into it, but we don't have it all in a readily available source. And so this requires acknowledging your biases, questioning your assumptions, but also seeking different perspectives. That's why if I'm ever speaking with you in public, I may stop you and go, why is that important to you? I'm curious.
I always say, tell me more about that.
Yeah, tell me more. Why is that important? I want you to share why it's important. I'm not going to change your mind. I want understanding. Maybe I'm looking at it in a way that needs to change. Maybe you're going to open my mind. That self-reflecting amplifies this new interpretation. Why am I charged by this? What purpose does this serve? Number 4, embrace empathy and curiosity during resolution. I'm the most curious person you will ever meet. I ask so many questions. Those in my inner circle understand that if I don't understand something, I'm going to ask for a safe space to ask a silly question, knowing that it's not silly to me. I need understanding. I don't understand. Where do fish go during hibernation? Am I in a safe space that I can ask that? Or I just go to Google. Embrace empathy. Be okay to be curious. You don't have to know everything. And then number 5, be open to revision. Be okay to, I like the way you put that. That changed my mind. Cool. Thank you. Right?
Yeah, I love that blueprint.
I love that blueprint.
So I want to share how...
I did Google where fish hibernate, by the way.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, I'm curious.
I want to share how my lens changed because I think everyone listening, well, maybe they don't. Maybe there's people that don't know me personally. Major changes for me 24 months ago. And it was really my relationship with my family, my wife.
Yourself.
Myself. I should have said that first. My relationship with myself and my weight loss, my health. Not necessarily weight loss, getting to where I felt comfortable. And if you go back to what I said, those things that I was saying earlier about it's consumed you, my lens had changed. That was me. My lens had burned into me to start coasting and get okay with life. I've got all these nice things. Life is okay. go take a look at a picture on your phone or social media. You seriously wake up to that every single day and call that happiness. You call that winning at life. That's what I did. I went and I did this. And what I saw with my shirt off, I was like, my wife has to wake up next to that every day. And it wasn't just the gut that I had developed. It was that I'd slowly given up on all those hopes and dreams that we talked about 2 decades ago when we got married. My wife has to wake up next to a guy that isn't the king of her castle. That was the acknowledgement part for me. I went and looked at a picture. It was on my phone. A lot of people can go to social media. That was the acknowledge part that you talked about. And then I had to resolve it. And I had to resolve that by taking action, not minor action, massive fucking action, which meant hiring a lot of fucking people to help me. And it took time. And I got through all that. But I took massive action and I resolved it. And I still work daily to reshape my lens, but I do that by following a routine. I put this in place with the help of a lot of Jen and coaches and things like that. And that's what we do with clients as well. We want them to try and win every day. You're not going to win every day, but I wake up and when I walk out the door, I say, I'm going to try and win today. I'm not going to coast. I'm going to win. And I think it's getting harder and harder for people to break through the way they see things today because society has normalized that coasting life. It's actually propped it up as the American dream. But I know there's still men and women, and we meet them every day, that have that flicker of fire still burning in their belly. And deep down, they want to see themselves do more. They want to be different. They want to do different things. They want to be a different person. And that's why it's so important that we keep talking about topics like this, the way you see the lens. Has your lens slowed down your life and now you look around and say, it wasn't what I expected? We've got to keep talking about this so we find people that want to go all in on themselves, that are ready to be the one in their family that turns it all around and changes that entire lens and path and future for their family so they see things differently. So they experience that true freedom that I was not experiencing when I looked at that picture. But I experience that now. I experience that true freedom when it comes to health, when it comes to my romantic relationship, when it comes to my relationships, to my social life, to my spirituality, and to my finances. But you've got to start with the tactics that Jen talked about earlier. And the first one is acknowledging that the lens that you've been looking through, it may not be wrong, but it may have sure knocked you off course.
I love that. I want to add, the lens you may be looking through may not be wrong. You might just need a new fucking prescription. Fair. That's why you go to the eye doctor every single year. Yep. I love this, guys. I hope you got so many nuggets from this one. I hope you changed your views on maybe a couple of different things. Hopefully I've expanded your world to the world of Barbie and all that she represents to me. If you like it, share it in your Instagram stories. Tag us. Give us a 5-star review. If anything, we're going to talk to you next time.